So I had a message asking about how my dad missed his truck on 9/11, but still made it down to the World Trade Center, and they went through my videos and didn't really see anything in depth about that, so I figured I would make a video about this. I'm going to try to keep it in one part. Anyway, I've talked about this in my book and explained this, but I haven't made a video about it, so I'm not going to talk about the morning. I've already made a video explaining that, my morning of 9/11, so if you want to go back, just so I could keep this in one part. But my dad was late for work. He made it down to the firehouse and to Rescue 1, my dad, Gary Geidel. He made it down to Rescue 1 after his company had already left. Now, technology was not what it was today, even cell phones and stuff. So, kind of pieced together what happened to him all these years. Now we kind of figured that my dad had missed the truck, which there is proof that he missed the truck because my mother called the firehouse just to talk to him that morning before the attack even happened, and he wasn't in work yet. She called back and the company wound up leaving without my dad before he got there. Now, my dad, his van was left at the firehouse, and we kind of figured he either walked to the World Trade Center or got a ride with another company on the way or something like that. So that was what we figured all these years. Now, I went through every single video and picture and anything that I could possibly ever get my hands on for like 17, 18 years worth of just video footage, anything I could get my hands on. Now, finally, we figured out there was a picture going around that kind of looked like it was my dad. Again, if something like that happened today, there would be video footage and pictures and stuff all over the place, and it would be so simple to figure out what happened to him. But again, like, technology wasn't what it is now. So there was a picture going around that kind of looked like my dad. My mother and I wound up looking at the picture, and it was my dad. And then there was video footage we found afterwards. Now, that stuff I do keep private because my dad's death is like so public and I've never had a choice with that. So I feel like these are my dad's last moments, so I am keeping that private. But what we assumed all these years, where he missed the truck and then walked to the World Trade Center, made it up there, that is what happened. He wound up getting in the buildings about 10 minutes before they came down, and he was in the opposite building as Rescue 1. So, Rescue 1 was one of the first companies that responded to the call, and they got in the building and they were in the lobby. So my dad was actually not with Rescue 1. He was in the opposite building of his company, and he got in there around 10 minutes before the first building came down. He was in the first building that came down, and he was in there right before it came down. And as I mentioned before, my dad was never recovered, none of his remains or gear or anything. And I'm praying to God that someday they'll be able to find something where there'll be some sort of DNA match. I gave my DNA when I was 7, and they're still testing that stuff till, today. So hopefully someday they'll find something of him that I could, actually have and take home. Just to add to this too, I'm totally open to answering any questions anyone has as long as it stays respectful, because recently I just had a very strange experience. I've had quite a few strange experiences with people, but this was kind of over the top. So as long as the questions or whatever stays respectful, I'm totally open to answering anyone's questions.